And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a We're Exhausted episode of This Is Our Life. So, we've been cleaning, and we got most of it done.
Ruben.
Now, I need to go in there and do the floor, but letting that soak. There's a few more dishes, but not many. I kind of, right now, like, yeah, I'd kind of like to see the housekeeper come over and see what we've done, and her supervisor. Just to kind of shove it in her nose. I mean, shove it in her face or whatever. But anyway, no, we can't afford a housekeeper. It's via home health. But anyway, so what I was going to say is now that we threw away the rug that we had in the kitchen. It smelled like dog and cat pee.
Terrible.
Yeah, and it was a cheap rug anyway. What, 15?
Yeah.
And anyway, so
that's why I made that yellow thing. Like, if we had a washer and dryer, it would be much better.
Yes.
But I don't even know if we could connect it without shorting out the house.
I know. I mean, it doesn't take much to short things out here. If we have too many things turned on, we have it. The breakers.
The breaker goes.
Yeah, and we have to go
in the basement.
Yeah. So anyway, what I was going to say.
It's unpleasant during the winter.
Yeah. Is I'm going to be making a video pretty soon about our bug out bags and assault packs, assault kits, because they're kits, they're not bags. And what I've been waiting for is to be able to get into the kitchen on the floor where we have all that room. All that room. I don't want it to sound like we have more room than we really have. But
you need to figure out a way to store our clothes better.
Yeah.
We have to keep them in laundry baskets.
Yeah. What I want to do is I'm going to take everything. I mean, both assault kits and both bug out bags. I'm going to take them into the kitchen. And I'm going to lay everything out. Now see, the problem right now is I cannot pick my wife's bug out bag up. Okay? It's too heavy. If it's too heavy for me, you can imagine it's way too heavy for her. It's way too heavy for me, so it's way, way too heavy for her.
You have to be Hercules to pick the damn thing up.
Yeah, and my bug out bag is empty right now because I took everything. I was organizing and sorting it, and I just never got everything back in because trying to figure out what to put in the assault kit, what to put in the bug out bag, how to put it in. I need to get some more stuff sacks, which we're using these cheap dollar store $1. They call them like packs or something.
Book bags.
Yeah, they're and they're
about 5 flies is their weight limit.
Yeah, and that's like so.
I hate to see a kid have to take one of those things to school. I mean.
So.
I would a notebook and a couple of pencils, they're fine, but anything more than that, it'd probably go through the bottom.
Yeah, and the string would probably dig into the
shoulders.
Yeah. So anyway, once we get things better, once we're done a little more in the kitchen, not a whole lot more, but a little more, and once we get the floor clean, then I'll eventually get everything in there. And the thing is, see, my wife's assault kit is an LBV, a load-bearing vest, which I think is probably better for her because of the way you can just change things around however you want, and it accepts Alice clips, which is good because one of the magazine cases on her LBV, it's an M16 magazine case, but her rifle, which is a 22. The magazines for it are in there. I 4 or 5, it holds 3 M16 AR-15 magazines, but it holds like 5 or 6 20 caliber magazines. So, that's not bad.
They're not going to be heavy.
Yeah, they're not heavy. But we need to get her. See, her bug out bag has a water reservoir in it. but there are going to be times she's not, if we ever have to use it. Hopefully we never have to use this stuff. But if we do, there are going to be times when she's not going to have the bug out bag because you're not going to need it. This is going to have the LBV on, i.e. the assault kit. Therefore, we have to get her at least 2 canteen pouches and canteens. I prefer to go ahead and get her the Arctic canteens because that way she doesn't have to switch out once winter comes, because it gets,
basically Arctic up here.
yeah, it gets cold up here. I mean, it gets below
We had a
0.
hellacious winter.
Yeah, and so I'll be getting into that pretty soon, I hope. And let me show you something here. This, I haven't made my wife's, still haven't made my wife's. This is my little pocket survival kit. And you know, this is less, this little box, this soap box is less than $1 at Walmart. There are hooks and needles and thread and all sorts of stuff in there. Now, something else I found when I was looking for survival trot lines, and I found one that's pretty good that I think I'm going to put together next month. Maybe I can put more than one together. All you need is 550 paracord, hooks, swivels. If you want, you can use a paper clip to organize the hooks on. You just, you know, put them through the eye. Sinkers, which you'd put down near the hook. One large heavy sinker, which depending on how long your trot line is, it can either go down in the middle or it can go on one end. And the other end you tie it to like a tree or a limb. I also want to buy some flies, but that I may not be able to do that because flies are not the cheapest thing. I also want to buy some little swivel clips that, you know, like you hook your hook onto. And what you do is you take your paracord and you like cut off an end, and you pull the little strands that are inside, and then you tie those every foot or 2 along the paracord. And I mean, you know, you cut them to whatever length you want, maybe 1 or 2 feet long, probably only about 1 foot long. You tie the hook to one end, you tie the other end to the paracord, and you tie a knot here, and you tie the line right in the middle, the line that you take out of the paracord. And I'm thinking treble hooks would probably be best, but you use whatever you want. Oh, and a jar of bait. Like, I don't know where it is. I'm not going to look for it, but little glass jars you buy, and you can buy different kinds. Some of it,
Oh, that stuff smells horrible.
yeah.
I don't know what a fish would want to eat that stuff for.
Well, catfish like that stinky stuff. We do have catfish up here, but they don't call them catfish. They call them steelheads or something. But
No, that sounds about right for a catfish, though.
yeah.
They're hard-headed.
Yeah. I mean, well, I used to catch those channel cats down in Texas off the pier.
They can be mean.
Yeah. What we would do, because supposedly the saltwater catfish are too bony to eat, too bony to bother with. So what we do is hit them against the pier, knock them out, just give them a concussion, then take them off the hook and throw them back in the water. But anyway, when you get the little jars, you have like salmon eggs, and you have dough bait.
Yellow shit that my dad used to have.
Yeah, you have different stuff.
Stink.
And
Yellow.
you know, stink bait, blood bait, that works great for catfish. You know, I'm thinking of doing that, and then probably, I mean, this little soap box, the soap dish, is actually too large for the trot line, believe it or not. And we would both have one. I'd make sure we both had a survival trot line, and we could put several of them in here. You know, so, and these cost less than $1 at Walmart. So, let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna gonna get that going. Another thing I have on, well, it's on my wish list, but I'm using my wish list on Amazon as our wedding registry. I want to get the stuff for my ham radio so I can get my license. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to I want to use. I'm not going to broadcast on it, but I can receive on it and use the books and be able to refer over to the radio itself for anything I need to you know, understand. But anyway, because that would be good if you know, if things ever got bad, that would be a good thing to have. And you know, I'd like to get tubes, but I can't find tubes on Amazon because this is an old tube radio, which is, yeah, I've seen them on eBay. And they might be, because a lot of if you buy new, you have to get them from like what used to be East Europe, the Eastern Bloc. Because see, people, what happened was the Russians, the Soviets, they stayed with tube radios. Their reasoning was if there was an EMP attack, they could still communicate with each other. All they have to do is take the tube out that got fried and put a new tube in. So over here, they didn't do that. But anyway, and we have a CB radio. I want to get that working too, but that's not a tube radio. It's an old radio, but probably a 70s version, but it's not a tube radio. But
They're pretty hard to kill, aren't they?
I think so. Take a beating and keep on licking, or take a licking and keep on beating.
What they've got in them, but
You
not cubes, but I think they're pretty hard to kill.
So, if you want to see a video about our assault kits and bug out bags, it's coming. I don't know
There's
exactly.
a Don Pussycat.
I don't know exactly when, but it's coming.
Sleep behind my chair.
So, anyway, you all have a wonderful day. Bye.